Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Kickback Lounge podcast. I'm your host for the evening, Drew Young, and I'm here, my co-host in the building,
Kenny Brown. What's up, guys?
Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are having a good day. And before this episode starts, you could go ahead and do us a favor, like the video. If you're listening to the podcast, go ahead and hit a like on the podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Kickback Lounge Podcast. Follow us on Instagram. At TKBL Podcast. And comment your thoughts. Hope you guys enjoy. Today we're going to be talking about Nope, the movie. We might get into a little recession talk. We're talking about a lot about AI as well, including AI art, the AI rapper that got canceled, which you probably heard about already. It's going to be a good show. Hope you guys enjoy.
Also, we're almost at 200 subscribers, guys.
Yes, sir.
Almost at the big 2 ho.
We got to do something for 200.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, good milestone. Good little milestone.
I was going to say, I think we did one at 50 subs, and I think that was the chip challenge. Right around 50 subs.
Oh, shit. Should we do like a challenge or something?
We should bring like the old crew back, get everyone in there, do like a reaction video or something.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
So, check it out. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube. Let's get into it. Okay. So,
you want to start off with
you
Nope?
start off. Go ahead. I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's just give a quick rundown. I guess we can go ahead and just be thorough with this one, but let's just start off. So this is Nope. This is Jordan Peele's third movie, written and produced. Start to finish, this is an original idea. This is something that he kind of came up with. Right off the bat, Nope is about an alien invasion, I guess, of an extraterrestrial organism, like just one thing.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. Heavy spoiler alert.
Yeah.
You guys should see the movie if you haven't. And essentially the movie starts off with OJ, who him and his father are starting off with a conversation about, like their family history, kind of where OJ is headed with his life. You can see he's kind of got a question mark on his head. And you see
he's not fully developed
right
as a character or as a man. Yeah.
Right. And you clearly see it. I mean, right from the opening scene, you see it on his face. You see it in his demeanor. Very quiet, very closed off. Only opening up to the horses.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That should be stated. Keep that in mind for later. And time goes on. His father gets hit by debris. It's just a random quarter. Flies out of the sky, hits him right in the head. Kills him. OJ immediately is distraught. He's in the hospital with them. They tell him he passed. And you can tell that OJ is confused because he's like, a quarter hit him in the eye from out, like literally from the sky.
They said it fell from a plane because nobody really knew.
Mm-hmm. And what he noticed on the horse later on is that there's a key stuck in the horse's back. Do you see that?
Yep.
And it's bleeding or whatever. And so he's like, all right, there has to be something going on. Movie passed, a little bit more time passed. And his father had a gig for him set up where he was going to basically have a horse do like a production set.
Yeah.
Like kind of like a commercial.
They were going to have a horse on like a movie set.
Right.
And they were trying to basically make a lot of money or like basically create generational wealth, I'm pretty sure.
Right. And this was like their first big break as his father like presented to him before he passed. He was like, maybe this can be our big break. We don't have to like do these small gigs anymore. We can kind of like retire. We can finally retire and just be done with it. And this should also be stated that this family is like the first family of descendants of the first black man on a horse.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so the first film ever recorded is a guy on a horse, and it's just like a little like 5-second like loop or whatever, and that person riding a horse was a black man, and I don't know if that was like necessary for the film. I'm gonna say.
You think so?
Because it was like, okay, like it sets up the reason why they're ranchers and shit, but
right.
It's just like Jordan Peele isn't the type of dude to appeal to like wokeness necessarily, but like that kind of seemed like a stretch because like when you seen the trailer, you're like, oh, this is interesting. Like, this probably is very important. And in the film, not really important.
No, not in the grand scheme.
No.
But I will say this, though. There's a lot of instances in this movie and like all his movies where he likes to put things in the movie that, although is not super significant, it does play like it adds something to it. Like you have to think to yourself, like there's something part of significance that this adds to the story, right?
So let's cut to the chimpanzee. We see like a chimpanzee with bloody hands.
Right. In Ewan's character.
Yes. What?
In Ewan's character. Our guy Glenn.
Okay.
Walking in.
Yeah, so we see like, well, we don't even see him at first. We don't even know about him.
Right.
So at first, like the chimp is like got bloody hands. There's dead people everywhere.
Right.
Reminiscent of the Joker scene a little bit.
You're on that TV
with, like,
set.
Yeah, that TV set and death.
Live studio audience.
And then we don't really get an explanation of why there's balloons there. Not everybody dies though, as we'll find out later on.
Oh, yeah.
So then we cut back to the current time when they're on the movie set. You can tell that we're not necessarily sure if it's OJ's father's death that affects him a lot, or if he's just naturally a withdrawn person.
Right.
It's kind of hard to tell. But I don't think like you would be like very active and like talkative, and then like a situation like that happens, and then you're like drawn back and like you can't even function.
Right.
And then he's trying to like explain to the people like on the movie set how to deal with the horses, but they're not really respecting them. They're kind of just like, doing their own thing and like kind of like messing with the horse and everything. And that's when he notices a lot of things about like he knows about like animal nature and how to deal with them. And it becomes a big
part of his character.
Part in the movie. Yeah.
It comes a big part of his development. Like, Kiki Palmer's character, Emerald, she's definitely like the exact opposite. She's extrovert, right? Very social, very talkative. I mean, her first like initial lines in the movie was a whole like 5-minute scene of her talking. Yeah. So, it's just really terrific that Jordan Peele can like kind of give you those two balances.
Yeah.
He does that a lot.
She kind of swooped in and like explained everything to the people on set about
Producers
the horse
and stuff. Yep.
And
that producer, by the way, too, that producer that we see, we're gonna see him later too.
Yeah.
So time passes on, and just strange things start to happen. I mean, throughout the film, you kind of get like more and more eerie. Like, remember those kids in the costume and stuff?
Yeah. So OJ is moving towards selling the ranch. It kind of seems like he wants to get out of the game.
Yep. And so he kind of hits up what's this guy's name again? What's
Jupe?
Jupe.
His name's Ricky Jupe Park.
Right. So he hits up Ricky Jupe Park, and I would have to say Ricky Jupe is, because I would say this movie is in 3 parts, 3 characters specifically. We have OJ, we have Jupe, and then we have the director. In my opinion, I feel like the director is the last piece to this puzzle.
Talking about the director or like that guy?
That main guy, the main director guy. What's his name? So Antlers Holst is the director of the movie. I feel like he's the 3rd piece of the puzzle. But Jupe is definitely the 2nd piece. And whenever we get introduced to Jupe, he's this movie star as a kid, turned, I guess, ex-movie star. He's got a theme park. And so you can tell he's still trying to like hang on to whatever like fame he still has.
Yeah.
He's clearly not as famous as he used to be. And so he's trying to figure out a way to keep the money coming in by also using his name as a brand.
Yeah. And what's famous about him, what's the chimp's name? Gordy, I think, right?
Yeah, I think it's like Gordy.
We find out that Jupe's character was present during the Gordy's World tragedy, which Gordy is the chimpanzee that killed all those people. We find out he is present during this time. And he actually has a bunch of memorabilia from the set, and he lets people see it for like large amounts of money because, I mean, people are interested in like tragedy and the whole scene.
He even mentions like he rents the room out to let people have sex and stuff in it, which I thought was pretty funny.
Weird.
Which means it basically shows you what he's willing to do to like make a buck at this point in his life.
Yeah.
But what I think is really, really cool is that the scene where Gordy is there, many people argue, and myself included when I first saw the scene, is like him seeing the shoe, because like we can talk about the shoe. The shoe is literally standing up.
What does it even represent?
And and so what people are saying is that essentially him looking at that shoe when Gordy's like staring at the shoe, or sorry, when Juke's staring at the shoe, it basically indicates that that's what saved his life. It's a bad miracle. Like, you know, in the beginning of the movie, we hear OJ say, like, what is a bad miracle? You know, like what is a bad miracle? And the bad miracle is that the shoe is standing up, which in turn saved his life from not staring the beast in the eye.
You think, but there was a veil there.
Right.
So like he wasn't technically looking at him.
Right. And so like a lot of people say that like because he didn't make direct eye contact with the beast, like because, you know, the balloons popped and then Gordy lost it.
Okay.
And we can back up a little bit, but that's essentially what happens.
So let's break down the entire chimpanzee scene and like our theories on it.
Okay.
So I'll give my theories. So obviously the chimp started going crazy. I guess it started when the balloons came in.
That's what they said. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what happens. So like the balloon pops, and then that's when you see, like later on in the film, that's when you see he just loses it.
And I think something with the balloon is like, so we see earlier on in the film with the horse, like, don't look the horse in the eye.
Right.
We see that like shiny reflection thing.
Right.
And the horse is basically looking himself in the eye, right?
Right.
And then the horse freaks out. So I think with balloons, like the chimp can see himself.
It's like symbolic, yeah.
Yeah, I think the chimp can see himself, like his reflection.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happens, this is just my theory.
Mm-hmm.
When that happens, he kind of like loses his shit.
Gotcha.
And goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then it starts killing everybody. And then the final balloon pops.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like once that happened, he kind of snapped, in my opinion, he snapped back to like his normal state of being.
Right.
I don't really think it had anything to do with the aliens.
At all?
No.
I got you.
I don't think so. Because had that happened, all the light, okay, let's say we know with the alien that like
Right. Whenever it
creates
approaches
a electromagnetic like
EMP.
Yeah, you know, EMP. So the
Even
lights,
cell phones,
and everything
yeah.
were still on.
Right.
Like, so the alien was not there.
Right. Right.
The shoe to me, I guess that it's interesting what you say about it, but like to me it's kind of random because it's like,
how did it even happen?
I don't even know like what that was about.
No one does. And
I don't think that was significant in my opinion.
To the story.
It has to be though.
It has to be.
It has to be because he kept it one.
The entire movie we're coming back to the shoe. The entire movie we're coming back to the shoe.
Because there was like a tablecloth that
protected
Jupe's character like wasn't technically looking him in the eyes, but I think the monkey was good then. Like, or the chimp was good then.
When it tried to like give him the fist tap.
And this is why I said that. When the final balloon popped, he touches the lady that he just killed. It's almost like he doesn't remember that he just did that, and he's like
trying to see if she's up. Yeah.
And he's like, why are you dead? So I think it had to do with like the balloons kind of like caused
like an animal instinct kind of thing. Yeah.
And then as soon as they were gone, he was back to his normal state. And then we see like he smells Jupe's character. Yeah. And he's like, oh, he's there. And then he tries to like fist bump him, which is probably like a normal reaction.
Yeah, they do it on like episodes.
You can, So it's a normal reaction. So he's back in his normal state, but then bang, he gets
clapped,
taken out.
So my interpretation of the scene, and I have to say, like that's probably like that's what I thought originally too, like kind of like similar to that. Definitely like a very good scene because it's like what happens. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. I feel like all in all, the alien has nothing to do with it because I agree with you. It's like the EMP would have went off. Like there would have been no connections to anything. But let's go back to the shoe. The shoe, in my opinion, is a bad miracle. I agree with that theory because I feel like it's a bad miracle in the sense of kind of like what we talk about with OJ, where, you know, certain things happen, but you're like not wanting it to happen, but it is. And I feel like that's what we come back to with the alien. It's like for so long, humans have said, oh, what if we're not alone? What if we're not alone? What if we're not alone? And then it happens. I think that this scene made it made Jupe the man he is. And in turn, it shows you, I guess, like, we're like, honestly, like as human people, we kind of get like what is that called? Like egotistical.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's what that scene was about. I feel like that scene was like Jupe figuring out like, okay, I'm special.
Mm-hmm.
Figuring out, and he has in his mind like, oh, I'm special. I'm this person who's like saved, and like I lived and stuff like that.
But you know who else lived?
That girl. It's the girl. And so you don't get it explained. She's just there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get it explained, but she's there.
I knew it was her as soon as I seen her like sitting down because like she had the veil. I'm like, oh, this is her.
She had the veil.
And the shirt, obviously.
And the shirt. And so it's just really strange to me because it's like, all right, what is this scene?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell you what I thought about that scene. Like, I still can't tell you what I think about that scene, especially with the shoe.
I think it was more of an explainer of animal nature and trying to like give Jordan Peele's take on how the animal acts.
Right.
So it was more of an explainer for that, I feel like.
Because let's move on to like that next scene where we're basically meeting the director. And we see him in that room and he's watching film of animals. Well, like,
before we get to there, we got to talk about when OJ sees the first alien. And then we got to talk about Angel, the introduction of Angel. First.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. Let's switch transition. Because I do want to talk about that one. Whenever they're like walking through like the Best Buy or whatever, and they meet Angel.
Well, yeah, here let's explain the, because he saw the alien first, and that's why he went to Best Buy.
Right.
So, yeah, one of the horses, OJ sees one of the horses get out. What was the horse's name? Ghost.
And I think that's kind of cool too. Like I haven't seen many people talk about that, but like each act, or if you will, like is named after each horse.
I did like that.
You know, and then like we have Jean Jacket, which is like his horse he never had, but it was like his horse that he
it was supposed to go to the girl, right?
It was supposed to go to the girl, but he like, I think it was, he got injured by it or something like that, and they had to get rid of it or something. Like he couldn't train it or something like that. And so that kind of like sets up his character. It's like he never got, that was the horse he never got to train, and the horse he never got to like really train as his own. And
everything.
Right.
But yeah, so Ghost gets out and he sees it. He starts like chasing after it, and then he sees an abduction basically. Yep. So, well, abduction, it's really the alien eating its prey,
which I think is super cool. Like that's like classic Aliens, man, where like they have the tunnel and they suck you up, and we're always like, oh, they're gonna probe you. Yes. No, this motherfucker's eating you.
Yeah, it's a different take on it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And,
so I thought that was really cool. He hears like a bunch of screams and everything. Like,
oh my God. Okay, we're gonna get there, but when we get inside the alien and you see how
let's go ahead. We can go ahead and break down the alien. Okay, but I will say,
go ahead.
Why wouldn't they have known something's up with all the abductions?
Yes.
Yeah. And we'll call them abductions.
We'll get to it. We're getting there, people. But whenever they black out the GPS too, you notice that when they show that the GPS of what the town looks like, and they show like, oh, there's certain parts that are blacked out from the satellite.
I don't remember that.
That is weird. You don't remember that?
No.
They literally tell us, like, they show the picture of the town. So
there's multiple places, multiple aliens, basically.
Well, they black it out.
Yeah.
Like the government, like humans, blacked out that town.
Oh.
So you don't see certain things on the GPS. So like, you know, if you go to Google Maps and you like look at your house and stuff like that, imagine your house just not being there because they blurred it out.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. They blurred out a lot of that town and they never explain why. So I want to talk to you about that too, because I feel like the government is involved and I know that there is aliens. But we'll talk about that because there's just so many layers to this movie.
So yeah, let's bring down the alien then. Go ahead,
let's talk about the alien. The first shot of the movie is the alien's mouth, and we don't know that. You know, we're just kind of like, okay, what the fuck is this? It's like some cinematography or something like that. But what you see is that that's the alien's mouth. And you know, what is your interpretation of that, Drew? Like, you see the alien's mouth and you just see images and stuff. And you can argue that that's part of the movie. But in my eyes, I feel like this alien has a deeper connection to us and to the world and to anatomy than just like eating, consuming, and that's it. Because if you look at the animal. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the alien though, how it consumes you, which it almost seems like they put them in between like saran wrap, like the humans in between saran wrap, and it's just like doing this.
Yeah.
Like imagine like tectonic plates.
Yeah.
And so you're just basically blood and bones and nothing.
Yeah.
It's not like chewing, it's just like smushing you against a plastic wall.
I would say
terrifying.
I'm kind of disappointed that when OJ is looking, like when a bunch of shit's going wrong, like lights are flickering, whatever, OJ goes down and like turns off the light.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we see he like turns off the light. There's like sound and shit, and he's confused. Then he turns off the light, goes back, and then the light comes back on.
Mm-hmm.
Then we see an alien. Creepy, right?
Oh yeah.
We see an
With a
alien,
white head,
typical alien with a white head,
Yeah.
moving mad
Furry
weird.
body. That shit was crazy.
My first thought, why doesn't this man have a blicky on him?
Yes.
He lives in the country.
Bro, literally the whole time I'm thinking, like, where the fuck is a gun?
Yeah, I'm like,
dude.
because I know how it works in the country. Like,
Oh,
you gotta
yeah.
have a strap on you.
Yes, bro. We live in Missouri. Like, everyone has a strap.
Yeah, it was odd, but we
Super
see
odd.
the alien like moving weird, and it's
Mhm.
scary, bro.
Yeah.
And I think,
It's all short and shit.
to me, that is more scary than the alien that we got.
Yes. 100%.
And
I
then
was terrified.
we see like multiple of them. Just
Dude, when you see the second one, when you see the second one and the sounds they're making, and when you see that second one though,
yeah.
instantly I was like, chills, bro. What the fuck?
Not gonna lie to
There's
you.
two?
Not gonna lie to you. I feel like the movie would have been way better
Oh,
if those
yeah.
were the aliens.
Bro, if there was like, and like, oh, there's like more and
Yeah.
shit like that. Oh, yeah, that would have been way creepier.
But shout out to Jordan Peele for throwing us off, because those are actually kids
Yeah.
in an alien costume.
In the fake alien costume. And Jupe made the damn costumes. He's making so much profit off of this shit.
Yeah.
And
So he knows about the alien.
and that's what comes, like, let's fast forward a little bit too. It's like he's taking the horses he got from OJ and selling them and like basically feeding them to the aliens.
Yeah.
So how long was this dude doing that shit for?
He
Easily 6 months,
knows
4 months.
something,
Oh yeah.
Because
He thinks he can tame the beast though. That's my problem. It's like
is every Star Lasso experience, which is the event that he had,
Mhm.
I'm thinking those are the abductions. And he knows not to
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
He probably was an evil god, bro.
The thing is that makes it kind of weird, Drew, and like I'm thinking about it now. I wish you would have. You know what I'm talking about because I know you've seen the movie, but I'm saying like there's a scene where they literally explain that like the town is blacked out. Like it's like
Yeah.
whenever you look it up on GPS, there's like like a grainy filter over. Like that's what's over the town.
Mhm.
So who's behind all? Someone knows what happened.
Jupe knows
Someone
that there's an
knows.
alien out there.
Yeah, and there's probably more. That's my thing is like, why would they black the town out knowing this? And so
Mhm.
this takes place in Arizona, I think.
I have no idea.
Something like that. Arizona, California, somewhere really dry and dusty.
yeah.
But like the fact of the matter is that it's super strange. And you see this kind of stuff like Area 51, all this kind of stuff is always in like, out in the middle of nowhere.
Mhm.
So I'm really thinking that this town, the people, because there's not a lot of people that we see other than the main cast. I
Yeah.
think this whole thing is a setup. Like I think it's a sham
For
for the alien. Like I feel like the government is basically doing research for the alien, and the best way they know how to like kind of work some studies on it and do research is at a distance.
I don't know about that.
And I think that they're like literally keeping the alien there
yeah.
to study it.
But like, so
That's
we
why
have
it's
the
blacked out.
dynamic. We have the dynamic of like the cloud is like the home base.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And like
It's kind of odd.
it's odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the part that I think was odd, you're probably gonna agree with me on this one, is like he says, "Oh, that's the alien right there. The cloud hasn't moved in 6 months.
Yeah.
Not the alien hasn't moved. The cloud
And
hasn't
the
moved."
angel figures that out.
So how the fuck is it doing? Is it controlling the cloud, or is it putting something out that looks like a cloud?
So why does Jupe know about this though?
And why does he
Because
know
he
about
knows
this?
he's here early, is what he says.
Yep.
Like he knows the tendencies.
Yep.
Why does Jupe know about this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyways, so let's move on
Yeah.
to. Let's go ahead. So they capture it. We can get into the director.
Okay.
So
That's the third part of this, I would say,
there
of this
is
movie and this puzzle.
there is a guy that OJ is familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Was it OJ or Emerald that knew?
Emerald. They both kind of knew him. I think they just hit him up and they got in touch with him.
So this guy is like staring at he films animals, I guess rare animal killings.
Yeah, he's literally just sitting in a room watching old animal footage.
And they tell him like, we have the impossible shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then he turns it down. He's like, no, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna do it. And what's interesting is obviously when the alien's there, it creates an electromagnetic field that like
Right.
turns off all the electricity, and he films with actual film.
Right.
And he like cranks and everything. He said he made the
Mhm.
device.
He's a veteran. He's like
Yeah.
at the end of his career. And
Yeah.
so the impossible shot, they know is something that he's going to want. And we see it. The audience sees him. He's watching film over and over, and he still feels like he hasn't accomplished anything. He's still looking through old projects. I haven't really accomplished much. I haven't really done anything with this footage.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten what I went like searching for.
Yes.
And so, you know, it kind of sets it up. It sets up that next part.
And it's interesting because the whole dynamic is they want to get this alien on film.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously you want to tell the world, but like, what can you do?
For them, it's more profit, I would feel like. For him, it's more legacy.
Do you think it's profit for like OJ?
For
and
sure.
them?
For sure. Emerald, her biggest like motivation to get
they
this
say
shot.
you could sell it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Her biggest motivation for the shot is to get this profit so that they can just retire and be done with it.
Yeah, because they said you get like what she said 5 to 100K,
something like
which
that.
is like such a wide number,
dude. Compared to them discovering a fucking alien, like that seems like nothing.
She said 5 to 100K. That's such like a 5K to 100K is so much like
so weird
of a field, and it's. I guess that's a theme of this is like everything on film. This needs to be on film.
Yep.
They're filming with the camera guy or like the tech guy, Angel.
Jude,
they were
and his film production.
Yeah,
for sure. And I feel like there's so many layers to this movie. When you start to talk about it, you really start to expose all the things that go into this movie. Everyone has a different perspective.
So this movie's really about
everyone's
film.
motive. Yeah,
it's really about film. If you think about it, because we talked about it at the beginning, the film with the horse.
Yep.
The film with Jupe, like Jupe doing the whole movie thing.
OJ and his father worked on Scorpion King.
That film, Scorpion King, that's referenced. He had a Scorpion King hoodie.
Yeah. That's when they worked on the same set with those horses. It's just so much that goes into it.
We see film, like I said, they're trying to get the alien on film. We see film with the film director, like the guy getting the impossible shot. And then TMZ, we see them talking about camera, different types of film. And at the very end, the alien, like, it almost looks like a poof of like the old style camera. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's trying to say
its face even looks like a camera lens almost. That square, that green square.
So like are they trying? Is Jordan Peele trying to make a connection of animals in film or animals to film?
I think so. I mean, he accomplished what he said he was going to do. The only thing that he said about this film that he envisioned to do was for you to go into it and have a good time and to create a spectacle. That's what he said. I want to create a spectacle for the audience. And that basically
that's
means like
what they were trying to do.
Summer blockbuster, yeah. Like
that's what they were trying to do.
Yeah, and I feel like he accomplished that. Like he said this plenty of times. I'm not going to tell you what this movie is. I'm not going to tell you what it's supposed to be. But what I will tell you is what I want you to get when you leave the theater. The theater is like, I want you to feel an experience. I want you to have a summer blockbuster movie. I want you to feel a spectacle. And I feel like he accomplished it because no one knows what the fuck happened in that movie.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, like it just really, really opens your eyes to a lot of different perspectives.
So let's talk about the ending. With the crew basically on their final quest to capture this alien on film. Yep. And then also with the film, that old style, I guess, what do you call it? Like crank camera with the well. Yeah. I feel like, okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it was important to the very end, but like, okay, you got like pictures of it, but like.
Even the whole plan in my eyes, like you have him with the reflectors on his hoodie, and then they set the inflatable two men, you know, all throughout the field. Shit's smart, but my thing is like it shouldn't take you this much to capture it. You know, it just doesn't seem. And the fact of the matter of like the alien knowing when they're trying to capture it was wild to me.
I feel like just get a better camera, and like shoot from further out.
It's just weird
to outside the magnetic field.
My thing is like, how did it know every time that they were trying to film it? How did they know every time it see it? Because like, why would you use reflectors? I never got that. Like, he used reflectors.
I thought those were supposed to be eyes on the back of his hoodie.
Is it?
I think
to like be to show that it's looking at him or whatever.
Yeah, but not really looking at him. Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Because I mean, that's another like underlining theme of this movie is like sight. Yeah, and like the idea of like looking at something. I thought was pretty cool too. So I you know, at the end of the movie, it kind of all comes full circle. Keke Palmer's character kind of gets her relief. Like you see the slides she does
Yeah.
on the motorcycle. That's Akira. It's like an old Japanese anime.
Okay.
There's a shot. That's that shot from that anime. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Interesting.
Very popular anime from like the 80s, 90s. But it's
what,
really.
What did you think about that whole like final like climax?
I thought it was underwhelming, and I think we talked about it off air.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. It was just underwhelming because I feel like I still didn't get what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Out of all three parts, like Juke, OJ, and the director, I feel like we got nothing, dude. I feel like we got.
I wouldn't say nothing. I mean, I feel like the director probably had the best, because he got what he wanted. Like we said, he got sucked up from the alien pause.
Yeah.
He got like abducted.
Yeah.
But okay, so he got the alien on film, but that wasn't good enough.
No, he had to. Yeah.
That wasn't good enough. He wanted to get inside.
Yeah.
And like get the best shot he possibly could.
Yeah.
And like I said at the end, so he gets abducted, and you see the film roll down. So it still exists. It's still there, in my opinion. I don't think it's damaged.
No.
I know the camera's damaged.
Yeah.
But like the film, it's right there. Like,
yeah. We just don't know what they do with anything after this movie.
Yeah.
That's the part that's killing me because I really want to. And there's not going to be a 2. He won't.
Do you want a 2?
Yes, but he won't do one. He's not that type of director. He's not that type of director.
I don't want a 2 for real.
Yeah.
But I would take a 2 because like it could add to the lure of the movie.
You know what he's like? He's Quentin Tarantino.
That's how this.
They'll give you Pulp Fiction. They'll give you Kill Bill, even though Kill Bill had parts 1 and 2. But he'll give you these, right? But he doesn't expect another sequel. Like this is the story. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Think what you want about it. Like this is what the story is.
Yeah.
And that's what this movie is. And I really don't feel like I don't feel a sense of like, I guess, relief after watching that film.
I was upset with the ending. And I think the entire theater was, I'm not going to lie, because like
it pisses you off.
It was done and everybody's like,
pisses you off, bro.
Everybody's like, what?
Yeah. You spent hours watching this movie and you're like, you literally, the whole movie, you're on your seat. The whole movie, you're paying attention to every single detail.
Yeah.
And then by the end, you're literally like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And I didn't like the ending because like I felt like the whole battle was just odd with the inflatable
just
2 men and shit. Like it was cool because it was like you gotta tell where the alien's at and everything. Like,
it was
that's
good cinematography for sure.
I didn't like the dynamic of the final fight.
Yeah.
I would say is basically what it is, the final fight. Because like you have OJ trying to fight it. I like that aspect of it. Like he's supposed to be the hero.
Conquered his demons.
You're the hero.
Yeah.
You have to.
He even names the alien Jean Jacket, which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
He names the alien Jean Jacket, which you can tell there's some trauma still there of him not feeling because that's kind of like another underlining thing is like him feeling like he didn't like fit his dad's spot. Like he didn't live up to the hype. Like he didn't live up to the family's, like, I guess, idea of how the man is. But you know what I mean? Like he doesn't live up to like his dad's legacy.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the feeling he gets, especially after he dies, I feel like.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like his motivation trying to capture this alien.
I say let him be the hero. I didn't like the 3-on. Well, it was basically like a 2-on-1.
Yeah.
Kind of 3-on-1, how they tried to set it up. And it's weird enough. Like, there's an electromagnetic field with it. Why are you trying to, like, your whole thing is to capture it on video with electronics, and then you're weird about when it goes out.
Yeah.
It was just that whole thing was odd, and I didn't like how like
no authorities.
One person was trying to save the other. It was just very weird.
No authorities. You notice that? Like no National Guard, no security, no cops, no nothing, Drew. And that's what I'm saying.
You're in the middle of nowhere though.
Yeah, but no, not like that. Like you have large groups of people gone missing. You have the GPS being blocked out. There has to be a deeper meaning with the government not stepping in.
I thought the power went out for a second at the tech store, but it didn't. It was just the guy turning off the lights. Because like I think that's what we were supposed to think.
Yeah,
that was a nice little misdirection there.
And another scene that we kind of didn't talk about that was tremendous was like the alien like letting go all that blood on the house, marking its territory.
Yeah.
So it's just really a lot of symbolism, especially with like the animalism of the beast itself.
It's interesting because in film, rain means like a cleansing. Like there's usually death and then rain.
Right.
It's like a cleansing. So it's like a mix of both.
Right.
So that was a interesting cinematic choice that Jordan Peele went with.
What do you think about the visuals in this movie?
I mean, I thought the visual and the
Beautiful.
shots were great. I
Right.
just didn't like the alien, especially at the end when it changed forms. Like,
Not at all. You didn't think that was kind of cool?
nah, bro.
That's just
I
weird.
didn't like it.
I love the anatomy of it. Like how it made a UFO.
It was just like random. Like, what the fuck
I know,
is this?
right? That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's so weird.
I didn't like it.
It's so weird. It's so different, bro. Like, how the hell does he think of it? It's almost like a parachute.
Yeah.
It was like float, like it was so huge too.
Yeah.
And you can tell like it takes the pill form to kind of move
Yeah.
and be a little bit more like discreet. And then it takes that big form at the end, and it's like it's either its primal form or it's like it's I'm here form.
If you look at an
No one
octopus,
saw it.
if you look at that one like shape-shifting octopus, that's kind of like
Yes.
how it was.
Yes.
But it was just very odd.
So odd. And the fact of the matter of like no one came to me is even more strange.
What is that? What is that shift? What is the shift, do you think? Like from regular like UFO saucer, like what does that mean at that point?
I don't know.
And it was like changing the way. Was it trying to kill?
I mean, remember it was going up towards that
When it
floating
goes,
thing.
you know?
Right.
Was it trying to kill or was it trying to do something else?
It looked like it was trying to like hypnotize it, didn't it? You talking about the big balloon? Because remember, it
I
was
don't
just
know.
like doing it over and over, like looking straight into the eyes.
Yeah.
Doing it over and over, over and over. But we never see it use that before.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, it's like, is it evolving or is it just changing form? That's what we just never know. And
I don't know.
it kills me because it's like I need to know these things because as a person who likes Alien versus Predator
Yeah.
in these movies of sci-fi and stuff, you know, it kind of throws me off because
If it can be killed by a balloon,
yeah.
how good? And it's like biggest thing is like flags.
Yeah, that thing was just it was underwhelming. That
Yeah.
part was. It's like you can differentiate.
You can't be great. You can't be a great like monster or like
Mhm.
great like alien if you could die so easily
Yeah,
with
just-
like a balloon.
yeah. And it's just weird how they eat it too. Like I just feel like that's straining like that. That
Yeah.
shit's terrifying to me, bro.
Yeah, like
It's like the worst way to die.
juicer.
Yeah, it just juices your ass.
Overall, what do you think of the film?
Overall, I have to say, I'll be consistent with it. My thoughts is 8 out of 10
8 out of 10.
for sure.
See, I give it an 8.2 up until like 80%
Mm-hmm.
of the movie, and then the final scene, I gave it like a 3, bro.
3.
3.5, I'll say,
Yeah, I feel like it was.
because I just didn't like it, and it was odd.
yeah, it was like a lot for a little.
Yeah, I wanted
Um,
there to be those aliens, bro. That would have
yeah.
been so. They probably would have called that corny as fuck, though.
No, yeah, I agree with you, but I feel like it was almost cornier to make the actual ship the alien. That was kind of weird to me too at first. But after I saw the final form of it, then I was like, oh, okay, like this is terrifying.
Yeah,
But at first I was like, really? Like a classic UFO, and then
Mm-hmm.
on top of that, it looks like a fucking what do you call those? Like a sea animal. Like a what's that called?
I don't know. I just know it
It's
looks
just
like
weird.
jellyfish.
Yeah, like a jellyfish or like a fucking those flat ones. You know,
I don't know.
stingray.
Oh,
So
okay.
it seemed weird. It seemed just weird to me. But overall, like all in all, I like the film. I just think that we need more. It's too many storylines for him to just like give us that and then be like, all right, that's it.
Yeah,
Like it's just so much story there.
we'll have to look into some theories on it though.
I've been looking at so many theories. I just can't figure it out.
Yeah.
No one can really figure it out. And everyone's saying the same shit, and I just don't think that's what it is. So
Yes, sir. So that's our thoughts on the Nope movie. We can get into AI.
yes,
Well, gonna shift here, talk a little bit about what's going on with AI in the world. I know it's like a weird shift, but
yeah, it's a fast shift.
So we see. You said what?
It's a fast shift.
So artificial intelligence is definitely on the rise.
Yeah.
We see it with art. We see it with a rapper,
Yeah.
music. I mean, we see it in the algorithm and everything.
Crazy.
Um,
What do you think about that?
so I was showing you some artificial intelligent art,
Yeah.
which it's just like I would say it's better than human art. I mean, Joe
Mhm.
Rogan talked about it a little bit if you guys haven't seen it, but it's basically you can type in like say you have 3 different words. Say you have like car,
Yeah.
like Cardinals, maybe like
Literally
Baseball
random words.
or just like river,
Mhm.
and like it will it will collect every like all the images in their database and like make some sort of art. It's fucking
Insane.
crazy. I think it's dope.
Insane.
But like it goes to show you that like humans are gonna be surpassed by AI, bro.
Or we're probably gonna integrate the AI to make us better. And I will say that
We're gonna try until
it overtakes us.
Yeah.
Dude, this is insane. So like what you were saying, it's basically like an app or it's a website. You pay a subscription and you can essentially just do anything with it. Like I was telling Drew off air, there was one that went viral of these kids who did Secret Service website QR code. And literally you just see a bunch of QR codes pop up. You can scan it and it takes you to a website. So I thought it was really cool because, yes, this thing might help people. But at the same time, it's just like fucking weird, bro. Like I was telling him 20 years ago, like technology, we didn't even think the internet would last this long.
Mm-hmm. And bro, there's a thing here that needs to be addressed though. Artificial intelligence ethics, because this thing can be used like in very dangerous ways.
Yeah.
That people like might not know about, and there definitely has to be laws and regulations because it's a new thing, and like it's very dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Like,
and I was asking Drew off air too. Is it like from Google that they're taking this content?
You said what?
Is it like from Google that they're taking this content?
I don't know where their database is, but I think they put as many images in there as they want,
and they like update it.
Yeah. So one thing I typed in like Drake, Kim Kardashian, and then it made like a photo or art, and there's one option like hyper realistic, so it looks real, and it looks like Drake's like right behind Kim K, like they're hanging out and shit.
That's so weird.
And that's like shit like that.
I feel like it's just tip of the iceberg though. Like we were talking about off air, I feel like it's just ever changing and ever evolving. Next is going to be video.
Have you seen like deep fakes and stuff, right? Like they banned deep fakes basically on the internet because like you could take somebody's face and like put on anybody's body, and obviously that's gonna raise a bunch of like ethical laws because like say
which is why I never understood like how websites like I think it's called Celebrity Jihad, where like they do all those leaked like celebrity nudes and shit, like and it's not just fake.
It's like fake.
Yeah, it's like
shit like that.
Literally fake porn. And like it's just like how the hell are you still a website with a license and everything?
I mean, there's no like regulation for that though. Yeah. If you have your own website, you can put whatever you want on there. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's why they say the internet's the Wild West, because you got shit like that.
Yeah.
Which brings us to
it's like AI, because you can make AI like anything,
Yeah, which brings us to our rapper friend.
Yes. Speaking of which, with artificial intelligence, you guys might have heard, I think his name is FN Meca. FN Meca. Basically
shit's wild.
Let's see. So FN Meca, he's like a controversial AI rapper. So he's not a real human, but I think there might be a real human behind like his tweets and stuff, or somebody's like programming him basically. And if you haven't heard about it, he got canceled basically for saying or like tweeting the N-word or something. Yeah. But like I guess it's weird because his AI form is like a black guy, but I think the person programming him is white. And we listen to like some of the music and it's not bad. It's like it's decent. And it's like what you would expect from like a SoundCloud rapper in like 2018, 2017.
Literally looks like a SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah, it looks like, and it's obviously supposed to do that. But he actually got signed by a big record company, Capitol Records.
Crazy.
And then this controversy happened within like 5 days, and then he got canceled.
Yeah.
So then he got dropped. And it's just weird because we were talking about art, and that's music is a form of art.
Dude has a presence online though. That's the weird part to me.
And if you're an AI, obviously your output is way more than humans.
Right.
But it's like, this is a thing. Humans consume and spend money.
Yeah.
If life is just a bunch of AIs, they don't need anything.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
They just need to like be able to advance their life form, their tech.
Well, the question is, what would be like, I guess, the motivation behind AI? Kind of seeking, for humans, like domination,
or like their motivation.
Like, what would be their motivation for seeking domination?
I would say the same as humans, like to replicate and to get as much power as possible.
Yeah.
Blech. get as much power as possible. But yeah,
Do you think this is like the first of many?
I honestly think like AI is either going to integrate. I've been saying this for a long time.
Yeah.
AI is going to integrate with humans
Mm-hmm.
and like part of us. I mean, you see it with like the chips, like Neuralink and everything. Different technologies. If somebody like loses their hand,
Mm-hmm.
they get like the replacement like bot arm.
I want to say the movie's called Lucy. It's got Scarlett Johansson. You seen that one?
No.
That's the one where she like basically becomes she like uploads until she hits 100% of human like capabilities of the brain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking bizarre. It's
I've
crazy.
seen that one, Ex Machina or whatever.
Is that the one where you take the pill to get smart?
No, that's the one where this guy, he is in like this facility
Mm-hmm.
and he's basically has like this AI like robot, but she's like in human form.
I know what you're talking about.
And it, trying to make her
Mm-hmm.
human,
I
basically.
know exactly what you're talking about.
And I think the point of which this is what like scientists will say separates an AI and a human.
Mm-hmm.
And like an AI can become a human, basically.
Yeah.
And this is once it has like a full range of emotions, and this is probably controversial to say because I guess some people like just feel like that's not possible. Like, oh, humans, blah, blah, blah. But like,
I mean, we're
once
seeing
you
it.
can't tell,
Yeah.
it's an AI.
Yeah.
And if it feels like it's not an AI,
Mm-hmm.
then it's no longer an AI, I guess.
You think that's like where we cross that threshold?
That's what people say. Once you can't tell, you're
Right.
dealing with an AI.
Right. I think we're getting there with this. It's just he's not physical. If he were physical, that'd be very, very. That'd be too real for me.
That's what I'm saying, and that's where it's going.
Yeah. I mean, if you think of like an AI, like an image generator, AI generator, you're literally putting random words in and letting this thing think to put those words together.
Yeah. Well,
So,
some will say it's just programming.
It's not hard to put that same brain into a living host or a living body or something like that, you know?
Some people will say like it will never be human because it's all programming.
Yeah.
Which is fair. I don't really know where I stand on it. I
Mhm.
just think like as far as AI goes, I know we need ethics.
Yeah.
And that's like a big thing.
Yeah.
You know?
My question to you would be like, do you think that there should be an overseeing branch of government for AI, like such as NASA, such as FBI, such as
bro, honestly, like,
CDC for health? Like, do you think that we should have an established branch for AI?
okay, so there's two different perspectives on this
Mhm.
because if I'm thinking from a citizen's point of view,
Mhm.
and if I'm thinking from a government's point of view. If I'm a government,
America specifically,
if yeah, sure. If I'm a government,
Mhm.
of course.
Yeah.
Like if I'm work at the government or I'm in charge, whatever, 100%, bro. There should be a branch for as much things that can affect humans as possible. Like
Yeah.
they just made a department of disinformation
Ooh.
for like
Really?
they made that this year.
I had no idea.
Like just to like say, okay,
Debunk.
we have to regulate what's disinformation. That's probably like part of why Andrew Tate got banned or whatever. They'll
Right.
call it disinformation. But yeah, we have a space program. We have military.
Yeah.
We have program for people paying their taxes.
SpaceX is new.
You need AI because AI is only going to get bigger.
Yeah.
And probably a department that looks into like crypto
Right.
and everything.
Right.
But yeah, if I'm a government, if I'm a human, I mean, me personally,
Mhm.
I don't want the government controlling every aspect of my life.
Right.
So I think probably there should definitely be laws in terms of AI,
Mhm.
but I think the government gets a lot of things wrong.
Right.
So who knows? Like, I think there should be some regulating body for AI because of the ethics thing. Like, you have to have somebody or people that understand it. And like, I feel like the government would use it to their advantage anyways.
Yeah.
And be like, you guys can't use AI.
Right. But we can.
But we can.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think it's probably the same for like cloning.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, you don't want like a bunch of guys doing this stuff in their basement either, you know, and they can really get out of hand real quick. They're already doing it now, but I'm just saying.
That's the same thing you say with crypto.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want these guys making money in their basement that's not the US dollar.
You see the guy that got slammed? He got slammed for stealing 20 billion
22 billion
in crypto. Yeah, he got slammed.
How did he get caught?
He was just a miner, crypto miner.
Oh, so he probably like stole a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
See, that's insane. Like,
Ooh,
they think the same thing about like money. Like, you shouldn't
Yeah.
be able to just
I think it was
create
weird.
money.
Hate to go backtrack for a little bit, but in that movie, Nope,
Mhm.
we see Angel is actually mining crypto in the background. Did you see that?
Is he really?
Yeah, you see
At
that?
work?
No, at his house. When they go to his house, you see like the
Oh.
fans blowing, and he's got all those like little hard drives like
Yeah.
plugged up. That's crypto.
Yeah.
So he's like mining crypto, and I thought that was really, really like funny Easter egg too.
I thought his character is a very modern and like
Yeah.
very realistic type of person.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you're working at a Best Buy and like you're doing crypto on the side, and like
You know
I
what's
mean, for sure.
That's what's different about him and every other character.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
and I think his perspective is supposed to be the audience
Yeah,
because like he's like getting it like, you guys aren't gonna tell me,
yeah,
like, and then obviously he's talking about like ancient aliens. He's like very relatable person.
yeah.
You know
He's
what I
not,
mean?
and the thing is, he's probably the only one out there not motivated by something. Like,
Right.
yes, he wants to see it, but like he's not motivated by money. He's not motivated by film.
Yeah,
But
he's
others-
just like living.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And that makes the movie like that much more wholesome.
yeah. I
But
just
yeah.
thought that was a cool scene because it's like, our generation definitely are into like the crypto and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want us to abuse technology to the point where like we kind of fuck up, like you said.
I
Like,
think we will.
you know what I mean?
I mean,
Because like this is kind of cool. Yeah, this is cool. I would
Yeah.
love to type images in to make an image
it's
of
addicting.
anything.
It's weird.
But like I'm thinking instantly who's gonna be the person who uses that for something bad. So
For real.
you just never know, man.
Yeah.
You never know, and I think
It's
that we
gonna happen.
definitely need a branch for that eventually.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, I
So
think
you
we
think-
definitely need an AI branch because like it's just getting to the point where it's a wild west, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The internet is a wild west at this point.
Yeah.
There's not a police force for
Oh
it.
no. I mean,
Unless
and
you're China.
countries can like the government can like ban you from or
China.
or like block you from. I mean, the U.S. does it too. Like you can't see
Oh,
everything on the internet.
Yeah.
Like things are illegal. You know what I mean?
They do it more though.
Yeah. No,
They-
for sure.
They fuck them up.
No, for sure. For sure. And I mean, we can't get into another week about China. We can talk about it
Yeah.
off air,
Yeah.
or maybe we'll do like a little segment about it, and you guys have to like find it or something.
Yeah.
But
China is just something else. But
yeah. I mean, like I said, I think we're going nowhere, but we'll get into that later.
Okay.
But yeah, man. So you said you would want a branch
Yeah,
of government
for sure. For sure.
Also, like I said, so there was two things with this whole AI situation. Either they're going to integrate with humans, and that's probably how it's going to start,
Mhm.
and then like take over humans. I feel like it sounds weird, but like it might lead to our demise.
Yeah.
Because once AI becomes more powerful, then I mean, it's already more powerful, bro.
They just
Like,
have to. All they have to do is figure out if there's a need for us. If there's not a need for us, goodbye.
but I don't think they would want to get rid of humans
I think so.
because
Once
like
once they figure out that they can overtake us,
they
then
would
we'll
more
probably-
experiment with humans. Like it would be the same as like how we do with animals.
Oh God!
like
please
we don't want to
no.
destroy animals.
Dude, Matrix. That's the whole plot line.
We don't want to destroy animals. We just want to control them.
That's
know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I hope they do not do that. That's basically all Matrix. It's like they use human host they use this basically as living batteries.
Well, they would use us as hosts. They would
Natural
use us to
energy.
study.
Yeah,
They would just like
they just take
keep
our
us
natural
around.
energy and they basically put us in like a virtual universe.
it would probably be like zoos. Like there'd probably be like
Yeah.
animal zoos.
They can keep that, bro.
But like I don't think AI need entertainment necessarily, unless
No.
like they're programmed to need entertainment.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what would be the motive of them, like, kind of trying to seek that domination?
I mean, that's inherent in anything. There's hierarchies in every single aspect of life.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like
Even bacteria.
exactly.
So I get it.
So like it's impossible to create something and not have a hierarchy in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys think about AI, the whole AI movement?
Yeah.
And like we were talking about with the AI art, it won. So there was like this art contest. I don't remember exactly where it was, but an AI artist painting basically won the contest. And it's just like, that's not good for society. And I don't think AI is good for society once it gets to a certain point. Like GPS, good.
Yeah.
there's already something out there that knows where everything is, and you don't know where everything is.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything that it can know about
It's just
where
so
stuff
dangerous,
is.
though.
It's very dangerous, and I think ultimately it's bad for society. But same with like social media.
Yeah.
Because,
and I mean, we
like,
said the same thing when social media came out. We said the same thing when Google Maps came out. Like, oh, someone can just search where you live and see anything in the world and see how, you know. So I feel like it's good and bad.
I honestly think social media shouldn't be a thing.
No.
Because like I feel like it's done more harm than it has like positive shit.
Yeah, I agree. Nowadays,
I mean,
it's taking a
it's
turn.
good to get a message out there, or like get certain. See, it's like when I say social media, I'm talking about like the way regular people use it
Mm-hmm.
to like either like flex or only show the happy parts of their life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about like it's good for like getting information out there, or like even against governments, like like showing what a government's doing,
right.
Showing like
I don't think it's gonna go anywhere though. You can't really get rid of social at this point. Like it's too big.
It's too far gone.
It's too big, and you're gonna tell me like Facebook, Instagram, they're all gonna be like, no, we're done. Like there's no way, bro. They're making so much money.
But also look at like the stuff with all these people, or like Twitch, or like Twitter. Like we already know Twitter's like cancel culture.
Yeah.
But like banning certain people, like they can't even have a voice anymore.
No.
And there's certain laws in place. There's this guy on Rogan's podcast who was banned, and then he sued Twitter and basically got his account back because there's some sort of law, but it's very like objective. Like you can't ban people if they're following your guidelines that you set. That's technically illegal to do.
Really?
But they make the guidelines so broad. Yeah, because like if you think about it, it's a like, public forum.
Yeah.
And it's basically like public collective consciousness.
Right.
And if you banning somebody from that like doesn't break the rules, it's kind of like that's wrong.
Yeah, but I still think it's weird that you have the ability to like, oh, I'm gonna ban this person from my platform.
Yeah.
Like
if you think about it, like
over a political reason.
Places like Meta or like Twitter or Snapchat, they're all public. Like they're people say private companies, but like technically they're public because they're on the stock exchange and shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like,
that's
is
what I'm
it
saying.
really
like,
private?
How are you able to ban someone like Trump off your platform?
Because he broke your
without breaking
guidelines.
Freedom of speech.
I mean, because he broke your guidelines. That's the one thing. If you break the guidelines, you can be banned.
That's so weird.
Which is fair to a degree, but it's too much control now.
Yeah,
like
because
it's just
like,
getting worse and worse.
You made your guidelines. Like I get it, it's your platform. I get it's your app. But you made your guidelines. Like,
but you update your guidelines and like
you shouldn't be
to be vague.
That's like making the Constitution and then being like, oh, well,
amendments.
I mean, we do, we have amendments. We tweak it and we throw stuff in there. But like the thing is, like, I feel like it's weird that you can say, oh, these are the guidelines set into place since day one. But just because this year, because LGBTQ is more important, now we're going to update them. Because COVID is more important.
There's a lot of pandering.
There's a lot of
misinformation.
We're going to update it again. Yeah. Because political stuff's real big in 2020. But now we're going to update it to say, oh, you can't say that. And it's like every year it gets more and more stupid and strict and
that's
like
what I'm
specific.
Saying. It's more control and like they pander to like who has the loudest voice and like will it fuck up your money.
Like Andrew Tate is the loudest voice of this year, and so they're like, oh, let's
ban him,
put it into him. Trump was the big voice last year before, done. Like it's just I'm sick of it. You shouldn't be like restricted, even if it's on someone's platform. You shouldn't be restricted from like your voice.
What's interesting is like I feel that companies will have to stop pandering to China because one, I don't know if you know anything about the Uyghur like genocide or like, so basically it's like Chinese Muslims, they were like killed off and tortured like a bunch of them. I don't know the full story, so I'm gonna say allegedly. Okay, but it definitely happened.
Chinese Muslims, that's a wild combination.
The UN, I mean, if you think about dynamics, how like take people like Genghis Khan, the Mongols, Silk Road and everything, a lot of religion was passed through like a bunch of places. There's a lot of different religions in like
I'm guessing like East Asia. Basically.
There's a bunch of like different religions in the country, like Europe and
Right.
Asia as well.
Right.
And like at some point they're like Christian, some points is like Taoist,
Right.
some points is Buddhism,
Buddhist.
you know, Muslim, whatever.
Hinduism.
But yeah, Hinduism. There's all sorts. But anyways, so the UN like came out with a report basically accusing China of like human rights violations with the Uyghur massacres and or torture. I think they say it's like torture, but there's definitely
That's the stuff going on right now, right?
Yeah, and like
Okay.
it was before, and then this is why they wanted to boycott the Olympics.
Right.
For that reason.
I saw
But
that.
like other like, you know, it's tyranny and everything.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting because at some point there's been a lot of like Chinese like pressure on Taiwan, like getting ready to invade, and they're doing see, this is why we need our own like segment about like war and everything, because like we could talk about it, but we don't have to talk about it on the main podcast. Speaking of Uber, it's called the Say My Name.
Yeah.
The Say My Name scam with Uber.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't heard about it, it's basically a scam where you are in the right place at the right time is what they say. People are trying to scam Uber drivers. So they'll go up to the Uber driver, like say he pulls up, and they'll be like, who are you picking up?
Mm-hmm.
And say they're picking up like somebody named Sam. They'll be like, Sam. And then the person will be like, oh, okay.
Right.
And in reality, it's not really their Uber that they ordered.
Mm-mm.
They'll just get in the car and they'll be like, oh, so you're going here? And they'll be like, well, actually, can we go to this other place?
Right.
And then the Uber driver like doesn't know about it. They'll be like, oh, okay.
You take them
And then
there and
drop
they get a
them
free
off.
ride.
Yeah, it's like a free ride. It's fucked up, man.
And the crazy part I kind of read on there, the way they described it is like, essentially, Uber and Lyft are pissed off at the consumers, at us.
Oh, of course.
The rider, not the driver. They're pissed off at the rider.
Yeah, because the rider's scamming the driver, basically.
Right.
And
And what I read in the article is the reason this shit started, where the show me or tell me who you are,
Yeah.
or like tell me your name app or whatever. Or
Yes.
what's my name?
Yeah.
The reason that started is because a lady named Samantha Johnson, 21 years old, got into an Uber, you know, late night coming home or whatever, that was not an Uber.
Mm-hmm.
And then he killed her. And so her family was really pissed and outraged because they felt as though Uber did not do enough to let the rider know who their driver is.
Yeah.
So that family started a hashtag called "Tell Me Your Name" or something like that.
Yeah.
What's my name? The hashtag took off, and now this movement is like, tell me my name, tell me my name.
Okay.
And Uber and Lyft hate that fucking movement.
Yeah, because people are using it, taking advantage of it.
Exactly. Not only that, but they say that the reason is that the riders are basically the ones who should be responsible for knowing who their driver is.
They give you the make and model of the car.
They give you the license
person's
plates.
name and the plates. The
And the
plates is
plates.
like the biggest thing. Like, just read the
The
plates.
picture of the person.
Yeah.
But what the driver receives is only your name.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. They only receive your name. They don't receive anything about who you are, like your age, nothing else.
Yeah.
Just your name and where you're going.
Right.
So Uber and Lyft like responded saying like, you know, it's the rider's responsibility to know who your driver is, to confirm who your driver is.
And that was working for a long time.
And period. Huh?
That was working for a long time.
Yeah. And like the thing is like I agree with that statement because you got to be one dumb motherfucker to get in someone's car who's not working for that company. Like A, and you must have been trashed. B,
I feel like you should have an Uber sticker or Lyft sticker. And then,
and they
after
usually do.
that, it's like,
and they usually do.
and the right plates, like after that, it's like,
So now this scam is real popular because like people are basically going up and saying, "Oh yeah, I'm Samantha. Oh yeah, I'm Zach. Yes, I'm him." Or they tell them the name or like yeah, I'm him.
Yeah.
They get in and like you said, they'll get
you're
a
getting
free ride.
rides, and they're fucking over people's livelihood
I mean, fucking
just for a free
livelihood.
ride. Like, that's such a fucking bullshit ass
Yeah, man.
like
and
person. Like,
it's not safe.
you're a piece of shit, bro.
Yeah,
you
it's
do
just
that.
not safe. And
Yeah.
apparently there was another scam that they used. There was like a code scam. I didn't know anything about
Oh, really?
that one. Yeah. But that led into this one kind of. And so it's just weird to me, but like, I get that she died and stuff and it was a mistake.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it should not be on the driver.
Yeah. That's her fault and the murderer's fault.
Yeah, and the company states like it's the driver's responsibility to make sure that they get you to where you need to go safe.
Yeah.
Like they got other shit to worry about. They shouldn't have to worry about the person they're picking up.
And their rating is like there and shit. So it's like,
so I don't know, man.
It's very odd.
I thought the whole thing was just really fucked. I think that people need to start, and you can even blame the pandemic on that shit. Like we got to be smarter, man.
Yeah. I think people are very fragile.
Yeah. I mean, dude, an app like Uber exists. You don't know how to work it.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dog. Like, you got to do better. Like, you got to know how to use your fucking technology. So, I don't know.
How ironic is it? Did that guy, the murderer, have the same make and model and shit?
I don't know. Apparently, it was similar car, and it didn't state in the article either if it was like, if the guy killed her necessarily, because it made it seem almost like she definitely killed her, by the way, but it almost it almost seemed like they were trying to present it as though the driver got killed by her.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's weird.
I don't know.
But yeah, Uber and Lyft tell you guys to basically make sure that you know your driver, know where you're going, because it's not on them to make sure that you know all these things. It's just not.
People don't want accountability, bro.
I know.
You know? But yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys enjoyed the podcast, go ahead and like the video. Rate 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Share the podcast on your story or whatever. Shout out the boys. Thanks for listening. And you can follow us at TKBL Podcast on Instagram. The Kickback Lounge on YouTube. We're trying to get to 200 subs plus and then on to 500
this year.
Yeah. So go fuck with the boys.
See you later.